Hello, sports fans, and welcome back on into the opening series here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am your host, Adam Karnik. Going to be a very, very busy night and busy show for you here on this Monday night. We have got championships at Wimbledon for men's and women's. We have got a championship in the FIFA Club tournament. MLB has hit its all-star break, so we've got things to look at there. We are catching up on all things going on across the U.S. sports landscape. We will also be diving into IndyCar, NASCAR, all kinds of auto racing on the docket. We may even dive into a little bit of golf. This is going to be a very busy show. Lots to get into. Whatever sports may be scratching your itch, I promise you we'll have something to say about it right here, right now, on the opening series on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And welcome on in, one and all. This is the opening series here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am your host, Adam Karnik. Glad that you are here with us this evening. Glad that we can have some fun, talk some sports. Hope your summer is going well. This is the quote unquote quiet time in the US sports calendar, but we've still got lots to go over, lots to talk about, lots to get through here on the show, and we will be doing that. I know the big three of the big four aren't really in action right now, but there's still and the fourth is just going on hiatus right now for the week. So this is we are starting what is quote unquote the quiet week in the U.S. sports landscape. But that doesn't mean that there aren't things to talk about. There are plenty of sporting events that went on over the weekend and over the past week. And there are things to get you set up and previewed for discussing here over the next bit. So we will be doing that here over the next hour or so here tonight. Lots to get to and lots to dissect. So we'll start things off. In fact, we're going to start things off in tennis over in Wimbledon. We had the final, and quite a surprising final it was too in Wimbledon, especially on the women's side. We'll start on the men's side. Men's singles, Jannik Sinner beat Carlos Alcaraz in it took 4 sets, dropped the first set 4-6, but after that, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, all across the board. Sinner claimed his first ever Wimbledon title, 4th Grand Slam crown overall. Alcaraz had his number overall, and this had won 5 straight, but Sinner finally able to overcome and get it where it mattered the most. Sinner defeated Novak Djokovic in straight sets in order to get to the semifinals in the first place. So congratulations to Jannik Sinner in getting his first Wimbledon championship. And then on the women's side, was their excitement and an unexpected outcome, to say the least. I mean, really, you almost have to start in the semifinals there. World number 1, Aryna Sabalenka, you would have thought should have been, in many people's eyes, was going to be a shoe-in for the finals of Wimbledon at least. Not so. Iga Swiatek wound up pulling off the upset, defeating Sabalenka in the semifinals. Swiatek then went on and beat Amanda Anisimova 6-0, 6-0 to take the Wimbledon championship. It is the first time since 1988 that we have seen a sweep like this. Anisimova didn't even take a single match on the day. It was a quick final as well. And Swiatek, along with that championship, becomes the youngest American to reach the singles final since Serena Williams in 2004. And so congratulations on that job. Well done. We also had in the mixed doubles, in the mixed doubles, you had Katerina Siniakova and Sam Verbeek, one from Czech, the other Dutch, wound up claiming the title, defeating Joe Salisbury and Luisa Stefani of Britain in the championship there. In the men's doubles, it was Julian Cash and Lloyd Glasspool. The first all-British pair won the men's doubles title. First time that had happened, a British men's pair won the championship since 1936. Players were dealing with heat all weekend long. Weather got over 31 degrees Celsius. That's well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Throughout the semis, there were multiple spectators that collapsed. All kinds of concerns there. Fortunately, everybody in the end came out okay out of it, but still definitely a thing to keep an eye on. So it was a very busy weekend there in Wimbledon, but ultimately championships around, and congratulations to all the titleists. We did have some other news and notes from the tournament as well. Novak Djokovic got his 100th career match at Wimbledon. He had however, his streak of 6 consecutive finals appearances, as we mentioned earlier, that was broken by the eventual champion Sinner in the, so that happened as well. Belinda Bencic, and her 18-year-old daughter, Mira Andreeva, both reached the women's quarterfinals. So you had a mother-daughter tandem going on there as well. Now with Wimbledon out of the way, the champions, everybody's going to be now looking at the U.S. Open. That'll be the next stop in the Grand Slam. So that's coming up as well. While Sinner and Alcaraz, that could become the new men's rivalry to keep an eye on all throughout. So congratulations to everybody winning at Wimbledon. Some terrific tennis went on all throughout the weekend as well. So some good stuff there. Going to switch things up now, and let's talk about some soccer, shall we? Wimbledon wasn't the only place having championships over the weekend. The FIFA Club World Cup had its championship over the weekend, with Chelsea winning the Club World Cup title, defeating PSG 3-0 in the championship match. That was at MetLife Stadium in New York. Cole Palmer scored 2 goals in the first half, one from 22 feet, another from 30 feet out. He also got the assist on Joao Pedro's goal, the third goal coming in the 43rd minute. PSG head coach Luis Enrique got into it with one of the Chelsea players, João Neves, during the match. An ugly foul got that going. So a little bit of tension and some heat going on there. This was the first time that Club World Cup final was between two European clubs. Chelsea got their second title, first one since 2021. So congratulations to Club Chelsea as well. Cole Palmer was named the man of the match and also was the tournament Golden Ball winner. 2 goals and an assist in the championship match will certainly have an effect on that and give you a little bit going on there, to say the least. For Enzo Maresca, this is a massive victory for him. The Chelsea manager helps get Chelsea onto a global stage again and helps just solidify his position with the club, with the team, with the organization as a whole. That's for everybody. That's always a big way to look at it and to view that as well. PSG, a rough go in the final. Did very well in the domestic and Champions League play, but giving up 3 goals all within the first 45 minutes of the match, and then finishing with only 10 men out on the floor. That's out on the field. Excuse me. That makes it a difficult and long day for PSG. Some interesting moments from the championship match as well. The pitch got placed under some scrutiny. MetLife Stadium's field got ridiculed for trouble with the turf. It was incredibly hot out on the field, but FIFA claimed that the tournament did exceed expectations overall. There's also a little bit of drama in President Trump presenting the trophy alongside FIFA's president, Gianni Infantino. President Trump was not exactly given a warm welcome when he came out. He was booed by fans, not only when he appeared on screens, but also on stage. He also appeared to overstay his welcome on the stage after he presented the trophy along with President Infantino. President Infantino appeared to try to help usher him off the stage, and President Trump stayed put where he was. So a little bit of drama there off the pitch as well. What's next now for these clubs? Well, for Chelsea, you just continue to ride the high from this and go back to the Premier League and get ready to try to qualify for the Champions League. For PSG, you've got to figure out how to kind of corral everything, get everybody organized and settled back down as well, not to have too many flare-ups and problems from the discipline issues as will normally happen. You've got to control those. You're not going to win. Obviously, you're not going to win very many matches when you're down 3-0 in the first 45 minutes of the match, but you're also going to struggle to win as well when you're only playing with 10 people. So some troubles and some things there, things to keep an eye on. Larry B commenting in the chat, which, by the way, if you're watching across YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, be sure to leave us a comment. Let us know that you are here and you're watching. Larry, he's happy that PSG lost, not shedding any tears there for the PSG crew. We're going to shift gears a little bit here. Now we'll come back to soccer a little bit later. We'll have some more domestic stuff happening and take a look at women's Euros roundup as well. But we're going to kick things over to some baseball now, as Major League Baseball has officially ended its first half of the season. We are officially at the All-Star break, and to help us talk a little bit of baseball and now bring onto the show. He is 1/3 of the Bullpen Bulletin, talking all things baseball every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio. He's been on the show once or twice already here in the opening series. It is Mike Pat. Mike, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, Adam. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. We have hit the unofficial end of the first half. Everybody's played over 90 games, I think, at this point. What are we at? About almost 94, 95 games into the MLB year?
Most teams sitting right around 95, 96. Yes.
Yeah, so a little past halfway, but still, it is the official end of the first half, and everybody can kind of relax, catch their breath a little bit, and enjoy just some fun here over the next couple of days. We've got the home run derby is just getting underway. Who do you like in that contest tonight?
Well, you got to be leaning towards Cal Raleigh with the way he's just been absolutely crushing the baseball all season long. I think he has something like 15 more home runs than the next closest participant, or maybe it's 14 home runs, somewhere in that neighborhood. But he is definitely the odds on favorite. I actually really like, and this is going to seem very much like a homer pick, but I really like James Wood, the rookie from the Nationals. And the reason why I like him is when I look at Home Run Derby, which I've been watching for more years than I'd like to openly admit on live on air. Just for reference, the very first one I remember was 1999 Mark McGwire Fenway Park. For those of you who remember that one was legendary for sure. But I always look for the guys that have the most effortless swing, the ones that it looks like they're barely even putting any effort into it, and the ball just sails 420 feet. And that's what I see in James Wood. I mean, he's tall, he's long, he has such effortless power. Some of his home runs, you look at him and you go, oh, he barely got a hold of that ball and it's gone 450. So I like him as kind of a dark horse sleeper, but I mean, you got to lean towards Cal Raleigh just the way he's just been absolutely crushing it.
Oh yeah, and he's got what, almost 40 home runs right now in the regular season.
Yep.
To have that through the first half at any position is phenomenal, but to have that as a catcher is just insane to me at this point. You're bringing up the home run derby. I will very freely admit I actually enjoyed the derby more than the All-Star game more often than not. It's just a fun, it's just fun. All-Star events are supposed to be kind of silly, kind of laid back. Where You're supposed to be celebrating the sport, and the home run derby is always a great one for that. The one that always sits out to me, though, it's a relatively recent one, just from within the last 10 years, when Giancarlo Stanton was still with the Marlins and Miami was hosting it. My goodness, you talk about an easy swing where he was blasting the ball out of everywhere out of that park, including, into the speakers and into the rafters of the closed roof. That one was always impressive to me.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton was a great one. Ricky K last week on the Bullpen Bulletin, he brought up the Josh Hamilton '08 run in Yankee Stadium where he was just sending the ball second, third deck. Everybody in that stadium had a chance to catch a home run ball, even the people all the way up in the rafters. That's how far Hamilton was crushing it. That was another favorite. I also really liked Sosa. It was either 2001 or 2003 Milwaukee.
Yes.
That was a absurd display of power.
Sammy Sosa 2001 in Milwaukee. I mean, that was home field advantage. Let's face it, Cubs.
Indeed.
When the Cubs play the Brewers, it doesn't matter where it is. Cubs fans are always going to make it comfortable for the Cubs players. So yeah, Sammy destroyed the ball in that one. Taryn, though, bringing up this for the All-Star festivities. He always looks forward to the celebrity softball game, which I believe that was last night, was it not?
Correct. Yes. And I've seen just a couple spotty highlights. It seemed goofier than usual. Not that, I mean, as you mentioned, these types of events are supposed to be kind of laid back, chill, fun. But that one, for some reason, just from the brief highlights I saw, was just a little bit goofier than normal. I think at one point, a player hit a ground ball that would have gone to like a normal shortstop if everybody was standing in the right spot, but it managed to literally roll past every fielder in play and make it all the way to the wall for an inside the park home run on a ground ball with no errors either. Like they weren't throwing the ball. He just hit it, little grounder, dribbler, right, like I said, right where his shortstop would have been, and it just got past everybody and kept going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The celebrity softball, that is definitely one of those where the celebrity far overtakes the softball aspect of the match there.
And I make it akin to, of course, everybody, the celebrity all-star festivities as part of the NBA all-star break, the celebrity basketball game. But I often find in those, there's at least some basketball talent. Some of these people who they find to play on the court actually play, especially when they get athletes from other sports. I remember one year T.O. participated in it and he dunked. Who dunks in the celebrity NBA All-Star game? It's
Yes.
absurd, but yeah. But I mean, you're right. It's fun. It's goofy. It's a big laugh.
Everybody, so long as nobody gets hurt, and
Yes.
everybody understands it's for a good time and for a good cause. Those are the important things there. Well, as we kind of hit we have hit the halfway point in the season. What are some of the surprises for you as we take a look at the first half standings? I know for me, and obviously being a Chicago fan, especially the NL Central being as close as it is, that blows my mind looking at it. But what jumps out to you as we look at the first half standings in MLB?
Well, the one that really stands out to me is we head over to the AL East, the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, my goodness, with this team, starting out the year through the first part of the year, they're kind of in the middle of the pack, dealing with some injury stuff. Then they just found their stride and started playing phenomenal baseball. And now they've taken over the division with the vaunted New York Yankees, and with the Red Sox, who, well, I mean, they dealt with a fair amount of drama throughout the season, but still a favorite. I mean, obviously, the Orioles have played well below expectations that many people had entering the year, and the Rays are still battling strongly despite their lack of home field advantage, not getting to play in Tropicana Field this year, which they've performed admirably well, but in the end might end up being a hindrance. But yeah, I would say the Blue Jays are definitely my surprise, with them being atop of the American League East. And also, like you said, the National League Central, I think what's most surprising is how close it is, considering how well the Cubs have played. The Cubs have easily, aside from that opening wonky trip to Japan to start the season, which I don't even want to count those games on the schedule for your benefit because that was so strange. But ever since that weird little blip in the opening, they've been one of the top 5-6 teams in all of baseball pretty consistently, winning winning streaks, winning 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. And yet, despite their very good, very solid play, they only have a 1-game lead over the Brewers. It's incredible. And then not super far behind them are the Cardinals, who, by the way, the trio of us on Bullpen Bulletin aptly picked to finish last, I think pretty universally, which, by the way, if you have a team that you do not like, send it in to us at the Bullpen Bulletin. We will pick them to win something, and they will inevitably lose. So if you want to reverse jinx it, we got you. Simultaneously, if you have a team that you like, let us know. We'll pick them to come in last place, and they will inevitably outperform expectations. So if you've got either of those wishes, send them into the Bullpen Bulletin, and we'll get you guys covered.
All right. So I'll be requesting that you sing nothing but praises then for Houston and St. Louis and Milwaukee for the rest of the year then.
Noted. I got you.
There we go. So yeah, some interesting stuff there. So we have the trade deadline coming up here at the end of the month, which is obviously going to affect the landscape. Is always some teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees are always going to be teams that are going to be looking to add and will open the purse strings and things like that. As we sit here now, though, with roughly 65, we'll call it, games left for everybody in the regular season, who do you see winning each division? Let's start in the American League.
Well, the East is super up in the air because Toronto has played great, but you look at the numbers, they only have a plus 17 run differential. You got to think that they're maybe outperforming their mean, their average. They might regress, whereas the Yankees have underperformed relative to the fact that they have a plus 111 run differential. So the American League East still very up in the air. And oh, by the way, Boston, to shout out Brian Francione that I see in the chat, has won 10 in a row. So credit to them. I think, it's going to come down to whoever has the most success with the deadline. That's who's going to win the East. And it's tough to gauge right now. 3 teams, 2 playing really well, 1 kind of middling, but they're all going to be in it to the end. So that one's going to be a tough one to pick. AL Central, unless Detroit has a massive, I don't know, everybody sprains their ankle for a week, I think they're going to maintain their lead already with an 11 and a half game lead with about 65 to play, as you say. And then the West, I think Houston has the lead. I think they've been the most consistent so far in that division. So I'm going to stick with them to hold on. And I think, you know what? I'm going to I'll ride the hot hand. Let's just go with Boston. Let's go with Boston for the East. I think given their hot streak, I think they're going to be major buyers. Plus, they just drafted a nice fresh load of pitching. So they might be able to turn some of their current pitching prospects into more current help, given that they now have another fresh wave of pitchers that they just drafted. So I think Boston's going to be active. I think they're going to make the moves, ride the hot streak. Rafael Devers being traded might end up being a blessing in the end. And I think they're going to get the job done.
There you go. I like it. So Boston coming out of the East, Detroit somehow figuring a way to make an 11 and a half game lead stick, and Houston staying atop in the West. So in the National League, you've got, this is crazy. The Dodgers, the largest lead of any of the National League division leaders, 5.5 up on the Padres. The Cubs, just a 1 game lead over the Brewers in the Central, and the Phillies, a half game in front of the Mets. 1 game in the loss column is all that separates there. So who do you like winning the divisions in the National League?
Well, let's start with the easiest one of the group. I think the Dodgers are going to hold on. The fact that they've been able to perform as well as they have despite their injuries, I think they're going to start to get some of those guys back and be nice and healthy. Plus, they're always willing to make a big deal at the deadline. They will trade everybody. They'll trade their bat boy. They'll trade the clubhouse seats. They'll trade the farm to get whoever they need. So I think the Dodgers hold on there. The Central, that's tough because, like I said, Chicago has been one of the best teams so far, but you cannot ignore the recent hot streak that the Brewers have gone on. I'm going to lean, I'll do this for you, Adam, because you're here. I'm going to lean the Cubs because, like I said, they have just been consistently better. But those teams, not just Milwaukee, but Cincinnati and St. Louis, they are not going to make it easy. They are not just going to let the Cubs run away. That one's going to come down. And then in the National League East, one thing comes to mind, and that's I wonder how scorned Juan Soto is going to feel being left out of the All-Star game. And I wonder if, he's already picked it up from a slow start. I wonder if that doesn't trigger some additional resurgence to where he just starts tearing the absolute cover off the ball every time he gets a hold of it. I think the Mets are finding their groove. I think that they have just enough to edge past the Phillies. I think the fact that they're only half a game back, given some of the slumps that they have had through the first 97 games, is phenomenal for them. And I think they'll be able to recover and retake that division. But Philadelphia Mets, that's going to be a great race, probably one of the top races through the last 65.
Yeah, that should absolutely be a good one. And I'm gonna take a quick peek and gander here. Do you happen to know offhand, do they play each other a lot over the back half, or have they finished with each other already? Because obviously now with the balanced schedule, you don't play your divisional opponents nearly as often. I'm taking a quick
Right,
peek
yeah,
as
and
I
if you
ask.
look at their schedule, so each team plays each other 13 times. That's the general golden rule now that they've kind of reset the balanced schedule. The Phillies have played 28 games of their, and by the way, that means everybody plays 52 divisional games for those of you that want to do the quick math at home. The Phillies and Mets have each both only played about half of their divisional games. So lots of divisional games coming up. I gotta think that they've got some series coming down the road here. Mostly, I'm just talking to kind of buy the time while I quick look at the schedule. To be completely honest with
I was
you,
gonna say, I have found it. So
yep. So yeah, we've got a series. Yeah, we've got a 3-game and a 4-game series. So yeah, those 7. That's going to be your key right there.
those are going to be 7 massive games, 3 in New York and 4 in Philadelphia. I like that. I gotta say, I lean a little bit towards the Phillies in that one, just because their ability to score. You know, when they are healthy, when they are putting that lineup out there, it's tough to keep them from scoring runs. I think that maybe that'll be just enough, but you can't go wrong by saying the Mets either. That's certainly not a bad take at all. Well, Mike, thank you so very much for hopping on here tonight and breaking down the first half for us. What have you guys got in store coming up here in some of the next several episodes of the Bullpen Bulletin?
Well, so the Bullpen Bulletin is off this week with All-Star break. We decided to take a little break of our own. But coming up, we have we're going to be reviewing the draft a little bit next week, as the MLB draft was just yesterday and today. We'll have plenty of trade deadline news, as the trade deadline is coming up on July 31st. So we've got a couple of weeks to go before that. And then it's just going to be the grind of the last 2 months of the season, all of the playoff races that'll be unfolding, all of the, divisional matchups, who's going to be playing spoilers. And then, of course, you have roster expansions. And beginning of September 1, the rosters expand from 26 to 28 players for the playoff stretch. So it's always fascinating to see who gets those extra spots and how they impact their teams for the past month of the season. And then, of course, it's just a little thing called the playoffs, just that little bit at the end there.
That little tournament there. I mean, it's the same time as the NFL regular season. So we understand if people forget about it.
Yeah, you've got, NBA kicking off, NHL kicking off all around that same time. Yeah.
That's why we're here. That's why we do this. So we don't have to watch everything. We do it for you.
Exactly. There you go. We cover all your needs here at IE Sports Radio.
Well, Mike, thank you so very much. You have an excellent night.
Thank you. You as well, sir. And go Cubs. I'm pulling for them to take that Central.
There we go. All right, that is Mike Pat of the Bullpen Bulletin. You can catch him and the other guys every Tuesday night, 9:00 in the East. Adjust for your appropriate time zone. All right, we are going to take for ourselves a quick little break at this point in the show. And then when we come back, we're going to go racing. There was a lot of racing over the weekend, lots to get you caught up on: IndyCar, NASCAR, MotoGP, all kinds of things there. So we will get you caught up there. This is the opening series here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this. IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at @sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the opening series here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's talk some auto racing, shall we? The summertime, oh my goodness, everything is up and running. We had multiple IndyCar races. We had NASCAR. We had Moto. We had, if it had an engine and tires, it was running this weekend. And to help us talk about it and break it all down, he is the czar and overlord of all things IE Sports Radio, the one and only Larry B. How you doing tonight, Larry?
I'm doing great. How you doing today, Adam? Great. Thanks for having me aboard today, man. It really a very, very fun weekend. Very, very fun weekend of auto sports, and it is really great to be on here talking all these sports here today.
Absolutely. Well, let's start things off with Indy because they had not one, but two races that they had to have some fun with. You had the Sync 275 on Saturday, and then you had the Farm to Finish 275 on Sunday. Farm to Finish. I love the name, if nothing else. Pato O'Ward taking the victory on Saturday, and then stop us if you heard it before already on this show. Talk about it. Alex Palou winning again on Sunday.
It's just the two, I'll tell you. So the first things first, obviously, good old Alex Palou dominating as per usual. Yes, he's probably going to win himself a title this year, another one. And it obviously well-deserved, right? The man has been insanely good all year long, right? So, I mean, obviously, getting his thing done yesterday, but on Saturday was pretty crazy. Saturday was, wow. So the Sync 275 was pretty cool. Okay, but the award, he's been, I don't know, that McLaren Chevy team it's been kind of a rough year. Newgarden has had a terrible year. Poor guy. He's just from not finishing the 500, spinning out in the freaking warm basically in the pace lap. This has not been his year, but holding off him and willpower, amazing, because it goes to show you, obviously, the talent, the skill is there, and this is why I always love IndyCar. As much as I love Formula One over Formula One, because when everyone has equal cars, you can see whose skill is better on what day, so it's kind of like, if the NFL, if only some players were taking steroids and, certain games, you know what I mean?
That happened in MLB, I think. Well, I really, what I almost kind of want to equate it to is more like, okay, if we took, say, a minor league baseball team and had them play, a Class A, the South Bend Cubs went and played the Los Angeles Dodgers. Is that really a good indication of how well a guy can manage a team?
Exactly. It's annoying, and it's like, really, guys, so again, it's really cool when you have this. I mean, the average speed of this freaking race was 140 miles per hour, man. I mean, this was an oval, a very fast oval. Iowa is such a fun circuit, and love that thing, man. So it was really cool. So seeing Pato O'Ward get a victory was nice, because obviously it's not been an easy year, but great for him. Newgarden obviously second, willpower third, and then on to Sunday. I mean, again, like you said, the Chip Ganassi Racing Honda was just, nobody was beating it. He had his ups and downs. Palou didn't have a perfect race, but it was a very good one. And 7th of the season, man. I mean, again, he's just dominating. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. I mean, how about this? He is just having an incredible year. A lot like Marc Marquez in MotoGP. Okay, Pato O'Ward behind him with Kyle Kirkwood. But overall, it was just a great weekend. I really, really, really enjoyed this. It was refreshing, again, because IndyCar does it all. Oval, they race on freaking street courses, literally in the street. Obviously, you've gotten familiar with those. They race on these really neat really neat road courses. They do it all, and this is why IndyCars is so awesome. I wish there was more races every year for IndyCar, but man, it's a great, great, great series, and a very fun rounds 11 and 12 this past week. So, we got 5 more to go, and it's exciting. We're gonna see who can challenge Alex Palou right now, but we don't think it's gonna happen. Honestly, it's been great. It is it has truly been a fascinating year, simply because, you see a young star really putting his pedal to the metal out there and just showing how well he really is, how good he really is out there. And it's been great. So coming up, man, Milwaukee is going to be fun. Milwaukee Mile coming up, taking a little bit of a break. But August 24th, we're back in action. Nashville after that on the 31st, back-to-back races there. And then, of course, we had a Toronto coming up. Actually, sorry about that. That's the final oval race, those two final oval races for this year. And then, of course, the series will head to Toronto. We got a street circuit coming up on the 20th. So that's what's coming up. My apologies. I have my notes a little messed up here. But yeah, so we got two more oval races for the year. And then, of course, back to the streets. And that is coming up this coming weekend. So can Palou do it again? You're damn right. I'm pretty sure he will. He's just been doing it. I mean, if I had to pick somebody, if I had to pick somebody to keep this thing alive right now in all these streaks, I think Palou is the guy.
To kind of put Palou into perspective here, obviously it's gonna take something catastrophic for him to not win the IndyCar championship this season. He's won 7 races already. There's only 5 left to go in the season. Where does this season for Palou, and obviously it's not done yet, but what is this setting up as far as IndyCar history? Where does this kind of rank? What are we looking at here from a historical perspective on Palou this year?
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you're looking at the greatest drivers of all time, my gosh, he's got to be in the conversation right now. The guy, he's got his titles. Obviously, the great Mario Andretti. This man did so much. He got 12 Grand Prix across 14 seasons. The guy was just an incredible driver. The guy, it was amazing. It was an honor interviewing him like 8-9 years ago. Got him. Al Unser, obviously another great going back in the day there. You have Scott Dixon, who has won himself 5 titles. So, obviously the great Dario Franchitti, Ricky Mears, AJ Foyt. You were getting into some really, really, really talented drivers. And when you look at the big picture and you look at where you can put Palou at the moment, look, he's not going to be Vince Lombardi yet. You know what I mean? Like at the moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got to win 1 before you can win 5.
Exactly. So if you think about it, obviously Palou is that dude who is going to be mentioned a lot, and it's just, I don't know. He's won a couple already. He's got 3 under his belt. So he won in 2021. He won in 23. He won last year. So he's going for the 3-peat this year. He won the freaking Indy 500. So he's done a lot in IndyCar, and I don't know. When you put him up there, you got to put him up there. He's won. There was one thing that's kind of holding him back. He's won 3 IndyCar titles, which is great, but you got to win the big one, right? You got to win the big one. If you don't win Indy, you can win them all, but you got to win Indy. And that was the great Ron Capps in Funny Car, actually, the Napa Funny Car. Years ago, man, Daryl and I used to have this debate all the time. Will he ever be one of the greats? He's won several titles. He's been amazing, but he's never won, the Indy 500 of the NHRA is the US Nats. That's Labor Day weekend. That's on Labor Day. They race on Monday. And Ron Cass finally won one. So it's like, well, you're damn right we can put him in that conversation now, right? So, it's the same thing. And if you think about it, where does Alex Palou really go? Okay, right now the guy is up there, and he's always, I don't know. To me, I feel like he's up there already. It's hard to place him on top of the greats, but if you want to put him somewhere at the moment, look, he's rapidly ascending, right, in IndyCar consistently. And it's hard for me to put him someplace, but you got all of this stuff here. The guy's, got 18 victories too. So if you got to put him somewhere, I guess this is a hard one for me. I'd put him like 5th. if I had to make a top 5, I would have to say Scott Dixon is obviously, he has to be the greatest of all time. He has to
Okay.
be. Okay. I mean, the guy's won 6 titles. He's won 8,500. He is actually viewed as the greatest, okay, ever in IndyCar. And obviously, I mentioned Mario earlier and Unser. You know, these guys are legends in the sport. But if I gotta put these guys down, I gotta say Scott Dixon. He's got 6 titles. He's won 8,500. Dario Franchitti. This guy in his time was actually incredible. He won 4 titles. He's gotten 3 Indy 500s under his belt. The guy has just done a lot of great things. Rick Mears, him as well. He has 3 titles. He had 4 Indy 500s. Not many guys have that. All right, there's seriously 3 others that have that, or 2 others. And after that, I would have to say, oh boy, who else would I put there? AJ Foyt. Oh, I might put AJ Foyt up there actually above Ricky Mears, but I don't know. It all depends. Yeah, I think I'll put Foyt up there, but he has 7 titles. He has the most of all time, and he's gotten 4. Actually, I might put him up top with Scott Dixon. I don't know, but some people say it was a different race, kind of like how we say football's a different football now. You know what I mean? And all that, but so I don't know. It's to me, it's back and forth. It could be Dixon or Foyt, whoever you like more. But Foyt has 1 more title than Scott Dixon, but he has 4 Indy 500 wins. So personally, that would put him above. Oh my gosh, who else could I think of, man? You know what? I think after that, I'll put Palou. Palou's got 3 titles, like Ricky Mears, but he's only won the Indy 500 1 time. Get this guy a couple more Indy 500 victories and maybe a few more titles. I honestly think he will. He's already in. In my opinion, in the conversation of one of the greats, the all-time greatest. But personally, man, I would have to say for sure he's in the top 5 or 6 drivers of all time.
It's like watching one of the greats, knowing that we're not there yet, but you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be there. It's just a matter of hitting your potential. So very understandable there. Well, let's talk some NASCAR for a moment now, shall we? We'll go over to the other American one. Shane Van Gisbergen, 2 in a row now. 1 in Chicago, which is becoming almost like a roller derby, where it's just get the car to survive. And hey, you got the place wherever you place, but survive the race and you'll do all right. Now he turns around in a more traditional race, so the Sonoma Raceway, the Toyota Save Mart 350 up there in your neck of the woods, in Northern California, not Southern, but still a heck of a lot closer to you than Chicago. And Van Gisbergen, back to back wins here, and pretty convincingly overall led most of the race. Take us through this race a little bit.
Well, okay. So a couple things you might need to know about Shane Van Gisbergen. So he obviously, it's not his thing. He of course sports car. Okay, he was a drive. That's his thing. Okay, and he is extremely talented, and and the guy is just, he can drive a road course like no one's business. Ovals are not his thing, but that's, mostly NASCAR. But as of right now,
only a slight technicality there. You don't like ovals, then why did you choose NASCAR?
Exactly. So, I mean, the guy is, obviously he had freaking like 80 some victories when he was in supercars. And that obviously is, supercars is a different story, but
it's a little different animal.
Yeah. And supercars is, a much different deal. But at the end of the day, it's still a car, and the guy is incredibly good. But he's gotten several championships. He's gotten like 3 or 4, I think. And I mean, he really dominated in like the 2000 teens into the early 2020s. And now here he is, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna do NASCAR. Cool. And he's, obviously, is trying to, but this is what in my opinion, this is the make of a great driver, because this is somebody who's like, hey, I've dominated this sport. Now I'm going to go do another one. And to me, that's really cool. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not sport, but I would say I've dominated this series. And to me, that's mad respect. Okay, that is major when you can get a guy who's like, yeah, I'm gonna switch it on up now, and it's pretty cool. But overall, so for Van Gisbergen, I mean, look, SVG is the guy. Sonoma, of course, way up north, up there in beautiful Napa Valley, the wine country. We have our own wine country here in Southern California and Temecula. It's much smaller, but that's like the really gigantic wine country up north. But beautiful, beautiful area, and just what a track! I love this track, formerly known as Sears Point, formerly known as Infineon Raceway. It has been a great, great, great track for many, many, many years. In the NASCAR circuit. At one point in time, that place and Watkins Glen were the only road courses of the entire series. After that, they were all ovals, or within the year. But yeah, it was awesome. Seeing Sonoma, seeing him just dominate Sonoma. The end, there was a million restarts, but seeing him just dominate again. I mean, the guy led 97 of 110 laps. I mean, damn near the entire race. And it was just a walk in the park for this guy. Obviously doing his thing in Chicago, doing his thing in Mexico City. He's just really, really good at road courses. So how's that going to fare? I mean, the guy's 26th overall in the points out of like 45 drivers, 44-ish around there. So obviously,
smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, obviously he's not, at the tippy top. But these road courses have got him into the championship. Let's see how he does at that championship. Or when it's time, but when we get to the playoffs and everything. But when it comes down to it, the guy is just, he's a great driver, and I really respect him for doing this. So will he move forward? Will he continue? Will he get the hang of these ovals? Let's see how it goes. But I really think this is awesome. I'm excited to see what he can do. And let's see what happens. So we're going to Dover, the Monster Mile next week. The car that place eats cars alive over on the East Coast. Really, really great track. And what will continue on with SVG? Will he get himself an oval victory? Will he emerge as a one of the better drivers in NASCAR? His road course is going to be his only legacy here at NASCAR. We'll see, but as of right now, it's really cool watching him race.
It sounds good. And now another one that I know is very near and dear to you, the MotoGP. Your guy, Marc Marquez, just keeps winning.
I mean, what do you do, right? The guy is a champ. The guy is a freaking champion. All right. This guy looked amazing. Just overall, incredible ride by this guy. He had his 200th start this past weekend, and I mean, he's just doing his thing, dominating. He won the freaking sprint race on Saturday. Obviously he got the pole in qualifying, and it was in the rain. I mean, the guy is just amazing. He has 344 points. He's leading 83 points ahead of his brother, and I mean, it's at this point in time, this is just give him the damn trophy. I mean, there's a lot of races to go, but I mean, yeah, Ducati Lenovo is just they're dominating. This guy is the real deal, and there's just no other way to put it. I mean, Marc Marquez is a very strong rider, and doing his thing this weekend in Germany. He just freaking wire to wire. I think. I mean, the guy was incredible, and it just goes to show you how good he really is. He's somebody who's coming for another title, and again, this is his comeback really, and he's really showing that.
And not to just win, to have 6 seconds between himself and his brother who finished second. That's not just, I mean, put that into, well, sure, we'll use football. Why not? Because that's always an easy one. That's basically you won the game by like 5 touchdowns. You didn't just win, you blasted everybody else out of the water with that.
100%.
A massive margin of victory there in the moto. So now they're in the Czech Republic. Is there any reason to suspect that it'll be anybody other than a Marquez on the top of the podium?
This year, there's only been like 3 other winners. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just don't see it. Obviously, it's it's anybody's race, but But this year, it hasn't been that. And, I felt like one of the Marquez is going to win this thing, more than likely Mark, because, again, he's on a terror this year. The guy is on a freaking terror. He's going into every single race, like, knowing I'm going to win this damn. He has that mentality. You know what I mean? That Mamba mentality where he knows when he gets out there, he's already like, I won. He's not cocky. He's not arrogant. But deep in his mind, he's already told himself, like, I won. Now I've already won. Now I just got to go ride.
Exactly. It's confidence. If you don't win, then it comes off as arrogance. But when you win, it's just pure cool confidence. That's all it is.
This guy, nicest guy in the world. You see him, he's so gracious in his interviews, and he's always so happy. He's not that jerk at all. But I'll tell you right now, he'll kick everyone's ass.
He gets in the car, he puts on that helmet and gets into that mindset. Yep. Gets into that mindset, and that's it. That's what it is. That. Gets in that mindset. All right. Well, let's see. I'm seeing the time left on the clock. Do you want to do IMSAs or do we want to do WEC?
Oh, we can do either one. I mean, we'll start with the FIA WEC this weekend, man. The 6 hour Sao Paulo was great. Oh man, it was a great race. I loved it. It was fun, except for the ending. The ending sucked. The ending sucked.
There's always that.
It sucked because it was a great race, but it ended under a yellow. So you get a wreck.
Nobody ever wants that.
You get a wreck with like 3 minutes to go, and as obviously we're on pace laps with the pace car leading the field, the time runs out. So we're just like, 6 hours just ended, and that's it. So they were like, well, wave the white flag. We got to go by the rules, and that's what happened. So we had a yellow, a finish under caution. Oh, it's a kick in the nuts. I hate those freaking endings, but it was a great drive. I enjoyed it. Obviously, the hypercar class. I mean, Cadillac just did what they do. It's been the Ferrari show this year, but Cadillac, obviously, the Hertz of the team. These guys are really, really solid. That number 12 hypercar was looking very good this year. In this race, and congratulations to Lynn Stevens and Nato. They did an amazing job this year. Really controlled that car. Took that sucker up there. I mean, they went 1-2. The sister car, obviously, of Bourdais, Bamber, and Button. They finished right behind. They were 57 seconds, almost a minute back. But hey, they went 1-2. And then the Porsche Penske, man, they came in obviously right after that Cadillac. They were on their tail, but what do you do? But just one of those deals where, what do you do? I mean,
exactly.
So I mean, really, that was the ending. Like I said, it ended under caution. Not that anybody wanted that. Actually, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. How did I? Whoopsies. Sorry about that. I thought I confused it here. But in IMSA, by the way, sorry, I think that was one that ended under caution. Regardless, really, really cool stuff here when you see the WEC. I loved it so much this weekend. Obviously, I always do. But it is a fun series to watch. And WEC is it's where it's at. It's exciting to see these guys just get out there and do their thing in sports car. And it's obviously that in IMSA. They compete with each other basically. You have the more American-based one versus the more European one. But yeah, really, 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 really cool stuff here. And loved it. So really fast too, and like I said, I totally screwed up. I believe it was IMSA that actually, my apologies. Whoopsies. IMSA obviously finished under caution. My apologies. I got the two mixed up. But
no.
That was my fault. So yeah,
mixing and matching your notes.
I know. I freaking screwed it up here. I'm putting them all over the place. But yeah, so good old IMSA, man. Great race there. But we'll get into that one in just a few moments here. But regardless, it was awesome in Brazil. Certainly loved it. And one of my all-time like I said, I'm a Ferrari guy, but I will always say that it is a super, super, super fun series for both. I love them both so very much. So anyway, moving forward, man. So
yeah,
what does that do? Well, really quick. So what does that
Oh.
do in the FIA? Well, now we got a little bit of a challenge going on in Hypercar, but what's going to come at stake with that? And really, that's it. They're looking forward here. LMGT3, obviously, Lexus. We talked about them right now. They did amazing getting that victory there. And that's it. So 2 classes ran. Really, really, really great race, in my opinion. Enjoyed it. Brazil's a very fun track, very fast track, lots of wide openness to pass. So there you go. So is the power really is the question is the power balance shifting? Is Ferrari going to be challenged here? Cadillac and Lexus are now gaining, or is Ferrari going to peek their head back up and retake this thing? So anyway, with that said, we'll go ahead and switch on over to IMSA. My apologies there.
There we go. That's all right.
There.
All well and good. It's all good.
You're good. So yeah, in the Chevrolet Grand Prix, of course, good old CTMP, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Really great race. Obviously, we had LMP2 class. We had 3 classes run this week, and really cool. This obviously sucked because it ended under caution, like I said. But whatever, it was really, really fun. We've seen the 99, the AO Racing Orica. That sucker was fast. Hayat and Cameron won that thing. In GTD Pro, it was a gamble, man. Ferrari is number 81 Dragon Speed of Costa and Alto. These guys were really, really good. It paid off at the end because that damn caution happened, and well, they got the victory. They got to end up winning that thing, but really fun deal there. And then of course GTD Wayne Taylor Racing, that Lambo got it done. That 45 was fast. Hit it in the formal, looked really, really, really well. And what I liked the most about this race was, it sucked because it ended under caution. But when it comes down to it, it was very fun to watch the earlier, because this race wasn't a gigantic endurance race. Actually, it was only a 3-hour race, so it's like typical NASCAR race, right? It's so it was really cool to see that. I enjoyed watching this thing from start to finish. Like I said, sucky how it ended, but regardless, it was really, really, really fun. So, how is that going to look? Obviously, a little shake up there on the points, but when it comes down to it, just to not to take too much time on this, but LMP2. I mean, now I think these guys are coming forth here in that. In that Orca. I mean, they looked great in that number 99, so they're looking solid. GTD obviously is gonna narrow a little bit. Ferrari, I mean, this could shake up the pecking order a little bit here, but pretty cool seeing another class win here, another manufacturing GTD. Just really fun all the way around, and IMSA is certainly a lot of fun, man. I'm glad we're talking about IMSA here on the show.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, because in the summer months we have lots of opportunity to talk auto racing, as there's not as much competition going on around. So it's good to highlight and go in on it.
This is true, man. So looking forward to lots more auto sports coming along. Like I said, IMSA, we got MotoGP, of course, coming up, continuing its own thing. Next week we got NHRA coming on back. NASCAR continues to dominate and do its deal. So lots of fun coming up here, man. I'm here for the ride. Obviously, I love jumping on here, being the the auto sports insider, I guess. I've always loved my auto sports, and it's always a lot of fun to talk about them. So great stuff here, man. We're looking forward to it. And again, thanks for having me on the show, man. Looking forward to more Mondays as long as we can get them. And let's see how these things end up in October and November.
All right, sounds good. Well, Larry, thank you for jumping on. I really, really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thanks again. Appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of the show.
All righty. And so with that, we're gonna do a little bit more recap here, and then we're gonna call it a show. One more big. We're gonna talk some basketball here. The WNBA had itself a pretty big week this past week. We'll touch on that here, and then we're gonna call it a show here for this Monday night. The week that was in the WNBA, some big games this past week. You had the Los Angeles Sparks finally got themselves a win, defeating the Connecticut Sun, a 92-88 win. Kelsey Plume led with 23 points. Azra Stevens had a double-double, 21 points, 11 rebounds. Asherika Jackson and Darcia Hamby also double-digit points. The Mystics on yesterday defeated the Storm Washington went 3-0 during the week, capping it off by beating the Seattle Storm 74-69. Brittany Sykes got a double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds in the fourth quarter. Kiki Iriafen got 10 and 10 for a franchise-tying double-double record there for the Mystics. We also had the Chicago Sky top the Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota's been one of the best teams in the WNBA this season. Chicago been one of the most disappointing teams, but on Saturday night, it was Chicago getting the win 87-81. Angel Reese, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Ariel Atkins also with 24 points for Chicago. New York Liberty remains the team to beat, though, in the WNBA, overcoming an 11-point halftime deficit to beat Atlanta 79-72. Brianna Stewart got her fourth double-double on the season, while Liani Flybeck's 21 points helped get the comeback started there. Coming up, we've got the WNBA All-Star Game is set for this weekend down in Indianapolis. Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Collier will be the team captains. I saw they traded coaches already earlier as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. So a good week in the WNBA as well. And with that is going to do it for our show here tonight. Big shout out and thank you to each and every one of our sponsors here at the station. Planet Jerky, premium brisket beef jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Go to planetjerky.net to place your order. We'll offer free shipping on all orders of $50 and above. Also want to say thank you to Vital Apparel, the brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. When you go to vitalapparel.com, use the promo code IESR, and you get 15% off of your order. Also, thank you to Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Go to iesportsradio.com/Seal the Deal Wax Seals. You're sending out invitations, you're sending out mail, you're putting stuff out there. Let everybody see that stamp, that seal, then they know unequivocally that it came from you. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. And of course, you can follow along with IE Sports Radio on your favorite social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search at IE Sports Radio or go to iesportsradio.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit that follow button, hit the like button. Thank you to everybody that was watching the show here tonight across YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Thank you to everybody that was commenting as well. Josh Ritter, Ralph Calise, Davidson Crooks, Brian Francione, Karen Rodriguez. Thank you one and all. Thank you to Mike Pack and to Larry B for hopping on and offering their insight on the show as well. Next week, we will restart the MLB season. We'll take a look at NBA Summer League action. There will be more racing, of course. We'll also peek in on some of the golf tournaments going on as well. And NFL training camps are going to be right around the corner, so I'm sure there's going to be some news and things coming up from those. Coming up next here on IE Sports Radio, it's Taryn Rodriguez and Set Point, getting you caught up on everything happening in the world of volleyball. So be sure to go over and give Taryn a listen. Until next time, I am Adam Karnik for IE Sports Radio. Thank you for listening and being here. We will see you next Monday night, right here, 8 o'clock Eastern. Have a great week, everybody.